Hi there, my name is Dami Olanrewaju. I'm the CEO at Upper Light Nigeria, one of the fastest growing real estate development company in Nigeria. And today I'll be sharing with you on the episode of the Real Estate Chatroom on how to hedge yourself against inflation through real estate. I'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. Now we are going to be looking at how to hedge yourself against inflation through real estate investing. As we know, there's a gory situation in this country currently economically. We're heading literally through the rocks, and a lot of indices are not in our favor. One of it is the inflation. But before I go there, we need to critically understand how the economy works. Okay, number one, the economy must have growing GDP, right? Gross domestic product, which also means that the per capita income of the nation needs to be improving and increasing for the economy to thrive. Okay, for that to happen, it means that the people must be productive. It means that you cannot be a consumer nation. You have to be a producing nation. Unfortunately for our country, we have been bedeviled with a lot of endemic situation, from massive corruption to lack of discipline, physical governance in this nation, which by default has really impacted negatively on our economic condition, right? And it's getting worse. By the day, the government is borrowing funds left, right, and center. Just last week, particularly if you stay in Nigeria, the Minister of Budget and Planning told us that we're broke as a nation. You know why? The cost of servicing debt, the cost of augmenting, or what they call fuel subsidy, has gone higher than our revenue. Unfortunately for us as a country, the major thing we produce is crude. Due to oil theft, vandalism, and a whole lot of other myriad of problems, we have not been able to produce what we call the OPEC quota. That's the number of barrels we're supposed to be producing every day. The budget was done on the presumption that we should be doing between 1.8 to 2.1 barrels of oil every day. But for the last couple of months now, we've been doing more of 1.2, which has really impacted on the projection of the government. The other part of the economy that ought to be working, really agri and our industrial sector, there's a lot of things. So there's this whole idea of farmers getting the right financing. There's this whole idea of getting loans from the bank, getting a skilled workforce, using modern way of farming. On the industrial end, you can talk about it. Diesel has gone bonkers and all of that. So what is the meaning of all of this to the everyday consumer? The cost of things have gone higher. To start with, we don't even, our external reserve is getting dried up every day, which means that we don't have enough foreign reserve. Considering that we're a consuming nation, we import most of the things from outside of the country, from name it, everything, food, different elements that we use to produce. So there's no dollar to use. Then by default, dollars keeps going up, even in the black market and all what have you. There are a lot of policies that are not making it easy for people that are trading and importing, and all of that. So what happens eventually is that it's whatever you buy that you sell, which means the cost of things will go higher. Now, enter inflation. Nigeria has been at all-time inflation, double digits since like forever, since I was growing up, and nothing much seems to be changing, right? So, and it has even now gone crazier now. The cost of things have grown by average of 60 to 80%, in the last 1 year particularly, a lot of people are complaining, a lot of people are suffering. So how do you exactly now navigate this whole quagmire of some sort? What you need to do now is to find a way to protect your personal economy. As individuals, as businesses, either small businesses, you need to look for a way to hedge yourself against inflation, against the rising cost of things. Otherwise, you will not be in business pretty soon. Or for some of us, we'll just be making money, take home that cannot take you home, literally. Is that not what they said? How can you protect your personal economy? How can you protect your family from all of this? I will suggest to you one thing that I've found to be the key. First off, let me say that investment will always hedge you so that your money keeps producing for you every day. You can't leave your money dormant. Imagine if savings is 2% or thereabout or less than that for most of these banks, and inflation is growing at 17%, which means by the time you do the minus, you are already minus 15%. So you don't need a professor to tell you that keeping money in bank is one of the dumbest thing to do, for the want of better word. Now, fortunately, what people now do in trying to invest is that they put their money in Ponzi. I still read last week about how maybe a Ponzi scheme, scooped about 5.5 billion from people, and I'm still wondering in this day and age, a lot of people want to make fast return, which is not going to work, But what can you do? You can steadily hedge yourself and build wealth through real estate. How do you do that? Number one, you can do it through land banking. In other words, land is one of the assets that keeps growing and appreciating even in a very funny economic situation. The cost of land in the last 24 months averagely within Lagos has grown by 61%. In some places, you've seen 100% growth. So what do you need to do? You need to hedge yourself by buying landed assets and keeping it for some time and flipping it. We call it land flipping. Okay? The second thing you can do is to actually, buy properties off plan. So that number one, you hedge yourself against future increment in that property development. Okay? Secondly is that you can actually do it so that by the time the building is ready, obviously the building will have gone minimum of 50% within that period because of the rate at which cost of building material is growing. What can you do? You can flip it and make your money. My friend had a development in the Kate part of Lagos that started maybe late 2019. Now the property then was sold at 45 million. Now at distress, they will be selling the property at 82 million. Some people bought 2 units, 3 units then. They are keeping 1 or 2. They are flipping the rest. And that's how to really hedge yourself against inflation in a clean-cut way. Of course, make sure you do your due diligence to make sure that the developer has the capacity to deliver. Okay? Make sure you also, for the land banking strategy, make sure that you are dealing with reputable property development company. Make sure that you don't go directly to a Monile or you just go and buy. Who is going to protect the land since you are going to leave it for minimum of 3, 5, 10 years. So you need to be very careful about that, okay? Another thing where you can hedge yourself is rental income. How would you find out if you're living in Nigeria again? I say, in the last 2 years, since after COVID, the cost of rent has gone high. And we have not even seen anything yet. What happens if you are a landlord, if you are an asset owner, and you are buying things that are expensive? What do? You come back to your base and also jack up the price. So that's what is happening. Because the same landlord, goes to the market, experiences some of these things. The guy comes back and look at the things he can do. Just in the same way that maybe a trader will increase the price of the goods to augment for inflation and increase. A landlord will come back, a property owner will come back and jack up the price to reflect his own spending. Okay, so you can get rental properties. Like the perfect one would be 2-bedroom, 3 bedrooms, because we have a lot of demand for that, especially in city centers. So even if you are not in Lagos, if you are in Abuja, the same thing, because I know the increment has been across the nation. So you need to find a way of getting on the property ladder either ways, either through land banking, either through buying off plan and doing house flipping. The first one is land flipping. The second one is house flipping. The third one now is rental income. Okay, so those are the ways that I believe that we can all hedge ourselves against inflation. Okay, so talking about land banking, I would like to introduce you to our own properties. We have two major estates, with one already sold out and allocated in Ekpe. We have another 60-acre development called the Evernest in Ekpe that I will want you to take part of. Ekpe is one of the fastest growing hub in Lagos, Nigeria, because it's going to be the residential hub to Dangote Refinery, which happens to be an industrial hub, you know, in the Ibeju area. And we also have property in Ibeju. We just launched the Birchberry, a 50-acre development that you will love. So please guys, you can reach out to me on the number scrolling on your screen, or go to our website www.upperlineproperties.com, or send make your inquiry through info@upperlineproperties.com. You know what guys, you buy land and you wait for it to appreciate. You don't wait to buy land. You know why? Because the cost of real estate will keep going up and up and up and up, and you can hedge yourself against inflation. Till I see you on another episode of Real Estate Chatroom. Be a landowner. Go invest today. Thank you. Bye.